Hey everybody, man, oh man, oh man, I have been so busy over the last couple of weeks. I've been meeting to do my catch-ups for my D&D campaign that I'm running, the Shattered Shores. It's my own homebrew world that I came up with by stealing a lot of stuff from other games, other writers, some original ideas that I've had. If you want to watch some of the other video blog episodes I did of previous sessions. I'm running two different campaigns in this world. One with my son and his friends. They're a bunch of they're seventh graders. Well, they're going to be eighth graders. They're almost done with their school year, so they're very soon to be eighth graders. But also playing in the exact same world with my longtime gaming group that we've been together for decades. And actions taken by the two different groups can affect what happens to the other people. If they do something monumental, because they're both based in the same city, if they do something monumental and change the city in some way, it'll change what happens for the other group. If they take a quest and complete it, they get that treasure, and now that dungeon or that area has been cleared out, and the other group can't do it. So it's kind of a West Marches type game, if you will. And I haven't played a game like this in a long time. So I've been trying to do a recap of a session for each session. And I did play one. I have a bunch of notes in front of me here. I'm going to actually record both of the session recaps for both of the groups, and I'm going to upload them at the same time. So first I'm going to do the young ones, not to be like I and named very lovingly after the classic TV show, The Young Ones. But regardless, the young ones. My son's group, they were in the middle of a dungeon the last time they left. They had managed to track down and find the path to the lower levels of this dungeon. They were sent to this area to track down and find out what was going on, as far as there's this small village, and they were having reports of beasties and things running around in the forest near their shepherding areas, and they had lost some sheep, and so there was rumors it was wolves or maybe even werewolves, and they went and investigated. And what they found out was there was actually this cult that was worshiping this strange bird god that they are taking area around that village, and we're perhaps scoping it out because perhaps there's like a larger outpost of them somewhere, and they're just seeing what else is going on in this area of the world. The Shattered Shores campaign is based on the idea of islands, and so as the players explore an island and get done with it, they'll move on to another one, and so on and so forth. So the players, my son and his friends, they went to they found a dungeon. They found an old temple that they realized that's where this like small out band of this cult was hiding within. And they cleared out the first level of the dungeon, and they ran into some pretty nasty traps, some pretty difficult things. But they found a big, large metal door that they couldn't open. And after searching for a while, they found this strange key. Actually, they found the key on the dead body of this barbarian-like, insane follower of the cult. They had to slay him to take the key, but they found this large, it was just a metal door, but didn't have a keyhole or anything. So it took a while they searched around and they actually found a loose stone that they picked up, and there was a keyhole there, and they were able to unlock it, and then the door opened up. And so they traveled down into the lower levels of the dungeon. And then what they got into was an area that was like kind of full of about, 3 to 5 inches of water. The entire place was flooded. And as they walked through this, they in some places it got deeper, in some places they were dry. And almost immediately when they got to that level of the dungeon, they realized that they would hear other footsteps splashing around in the background. And so they started to try to walk like by shuffling their feet. It was kind of a neat. They were trying like, what if we shuffle our feet? They spend a good, and I like it when groups do this, where they like start talking. It's like we got to be able to figure out how we can do this, because we don't want other people to hear us, like splashing around the water down. And so they said, well, what if we just like kind of shuffled our feet really slowly in the water? And that way we're not picking our feet up out of the water and like splashing it down and so on and so forth. And so I said, well, you can do that, but you're going to move a lot slower and you don't have a lot of torches, so you might run out of light. But they said that's what they were going to do. So they continued kind of moving kind of slow and shuffling their feet. And they were able to surprise. I gave them a good chance to surprise. There's the lower level was a very, very small room. So there were just a couple of guard rooms, but the guards had been alerted so the guards had left those rooms and they had gone into this main temple area, where the like this kind of low level cleric, but still higher level than anybody in the party was in there with his guards, and they were finishing some ritual that they didn't really understand exactly what they were doing, but they knew it was a bad deal. So they kicked the door open, and there was a really, really fun battle. The kids really got into it because the fact that as long as the priest had this special pendant, and if they attacked him, he was able to push his damage out to his guards. And so I hit him and they do 5 points of damage, but he had like 8 guards, and so he would just 5 of them would each take 1 point of damage. And so they couldn't figure out why they were hitting him but they weren't doing any damage, so they started thinking that he wasn't real, and so it was a fun combat where they were trying to figure it out. But then what I had was when they actually were able to kill one of the guards that this priest had. They noticed he flinched when it happened, and then they saw a wound appeared on his body, and so they kind of put things together at that point, and so they stopped trying to focus on the priest and they started attacking the guards. And after a pretty tough battle, a couple of people actually got dropped, but the healer in the party brought them back up. They have a paladin and a cleric in the party, so they're able to heal them and bring them back. They managed to take care of the priest, and they found this unholy scepter to this dark god, and also a fair amount of treasure. And so they wanted to destroy the scepter, but then somebody said we should bring that back. The paladin said I should really bring that back and give it to the church, because we want to have them investigate it and figure out exactly what this cult is, what they're doing, do they know anything, that sort of thing. So they came back. They went back to the village. They said, you don't have anything to worry about anymore. The people in the village, they had a feast for them, which they had fun role playing that out. Each of them eating a bunch of food, and we even had them play roll some dice to do there was axe throwing competitions and things like that. And my son and his friends had a great deal of fun with that. They were making wagers and stuff and seeing who won. And then they eventually made it back to the main city, the city of Solus, and that's Solis, not Solace, but it's kind of a play on words. But they got back and they turned the scepter in, and the their contact within the church, said this is a very important artifact. We need to investigate this, and they appreciated them turning it in. And they said we're gonna research it, and then we might need you to go on another mission for us. But in the meantime, like here's 1,000 gold, for a job well done, and go ahead. And so then this is a world where each of them has a ship. So they have a ship, and they're debating whether they want to spend the money on upgrading their ship, so it could have maybe some ballista weapons or maybe be faster. Also, they want to spend the money on buying like better armor and weapons for themselves as well. So it was a good session. I mean, it was one of those things where they had done all of the legwork the session before, where like going to the village, talking to the people within the village, finding out where they should go, investigating the mystery of what was going on, finally stumbling upon what exactly was going on, and then the wrap up, like going into the dungeon, tracking down the bad people, taking care of them, and then heading back. So it was a nice like uh, fulfillment of the quest, and then they were able to get back, which was it was a good session. Everybody had a good time, and then we actually wrapped it up soon enough. My son and his friends didn't have to go. His friends didn't have to go home yet, so we went out into the backyard, and they're all on the same football team in middle school. So we went on the backyard and we played a little touch football. And we even let the old man play, so that was kind of nice. I was just on permanent quarterback. I was just throwing the football around for everybody. So for both teams, but it was a good time. It was a nice evening, and yeah. So that was the most recent session for the young ones. So if you have any comments or anything, love to hear them. Go ahead and post them, or hit the old like, subscribe, whatever. Again, I know these aren't the most interesting of videos for most people. I'm more or less doing these videos so like theoretically 5-10 years from now I can go back and I can watch these, or perhaps my son will watch them and remember going through these sessions and remember playing D&D with his old man. So yeah, all right, take care.